Hi.
Hello.
Boy, this feels kind of weird because it's been
out of practice.
a really, really long time. I was looking at the last time we'd done a live, and it's been about a year, almost to the day. So welcome back, I guess. So I see we've got Margie in the chat. Kevin's in the chat. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Let us know if you can see and hear us. Marky's got something going on his phone.
Got the live on here just in case.
But yeah, we're here and we're ready to talk about some of the things that have been going on, because if any of you actually follow the channel, then you know I've been very, very terrible in editing between where I film and how long it's taking it to become edited and uploaded onto YouTube. So I think we're at Livestock Guardian puppy time on our channel, and that was August.
Yeah, they're not puppies anymore.
They are puppies. But they are huge. They are little monsters. It's really hard. I've found that with the growth rate of these dogs, and for anybody out there who's new, hasn't watched that, we got Anatolian Shepherds for our Livestock Guardian dogs. Ever since the donkeys left, and it's now winter, things are cold. Hopefully, eventually it will become frozen because I'm sick of mud. But that also means that resources become less available for predators, and then they go for what's easy, which is usually livestock. So with that thought in mind, we thought it was time for Livestock Guardian dogs. And even though they're only, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. They're 8 months old, which means they're like in that naughty teenager phase that I'm really having to crack down on them. But being 8 months, when they put their paws on the top of the fence, like they're looking us dead in the face. Yeah, they're huge, and they're only 8 months old, so they're nowhere near done. And
Margie's right; they are still adorable.
They are adorable.
Yeah, they're still big puppies.
Even like with them being so big, they're rambunctious, but they're really big sweethearts. Yeah, we really love having them.
They do a good job guarding.
They do. They're in a really naughty phase right now.
Yeah,
that they are. I can't have them fixed until they're well over a year to year and a half old, just because larger dogs need more time to develop and to take advantage of those hormones while they're growing rapidly. Yeah. So they're like little teenagers that think the goats are really fun to play with. And their form of play is different than the goat's form of play, and the goats really can't take their form of play. So there's been a lot of corrections. And
yeah, but they notice, like, as soon as somebody goes down the driveway, they'll bark, they'll make noise, they'll know. Like, if we walk around with our hoods and they can't see our faces, they'll bark at us, just like, who are you, until they recognize you. Yeah. So they're really good at being guardians. Really good at being guardians, and they're doing their job really, really well. And they know our dogs. They know the difference between our dog's barks and other dog barks. They'll usually leave other dog barks alone, but when our dogs bark, they're like, what's going on? Yeah. And it's like watching a team like converge, some in the pen, some outside of the pen. They are going to be a good addition. Yeah, Margie, they are. I have really high hopes for them. It's just getting through this puppy phase. Yeah. And they haven't done anything terrible. She's just caught them chasing a couple, putting her mouth on them, slobbering on them, basically, just big playing with them. Nobody's been hurt yet.
Exactly. And it's just playing is what turns into harming, and they don't mean to.
Especially at their size.
Yeah. Jeez. And I have 2 of them, and I knew that 2 could be a problem, but it was that or nothing with this trade. And I just figured this is what I've been wanting to move to. So
I've been happy with them overall.
Yeah. And when the door opens up, you walk through it, and I'm glad they're here. And this is nothing outside of what we figured we might be facing. It's given us a lot of
peace too at night with just barnyard security, knowing they're out there. I mean, I'm not too worried about anything trying to mess with something that big. I mean, they're definitely bigger than any predator around here.
They're an insurance policy for our goats, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, it's just been really, really busy around here. I know if anybody follows our Facebook page, there's been all kinds of drama that's been happening on our farm. Just because we have kind of I don't know what you want to call it, like I'll call it a mystery ailment, a mystery disease that's popped up in 2 goats that we're not quite sure what's going on. We sent one of them off for a necropsy, because ultimately that's the only way that I'm going to know what I'm dealing with and how to accommodate the treatment.
Learning experience for you from that.
It has been a good learning experience. And it also reiterates to we've been doing lots of speaking and conferences in the year that we haven't been doing lives. And a lot of times, like I talk to people and we try to give them a lot of honesty, and honesty sometimes is scary if you're a beginner and you're not quite sure. So I'm always like, have I scared you yet? And honestly, the last couple of months here on the farm, when it comes to livestock husbandry, have honest to God been those circumstances where I'm like, have I scared you yet? And they're happening to me. So it's definitely been difficult, but we think it's either listeriosis, but then the vet also said maybe rabies, which rabies in goats, they either go dumb or they go super aggressive. And she only said rabies because I was telling her, I'm like, this is what I'm hitting it with. And this is how often I'm hitting listeriosis with these treatments. And she's like, there should have been some type of reaction. There should have been just a reaction. I guess a reaction is probably the best way. She's like, they should have shown a little bit of improvement, even if they went down. She's like, with how fast it's hitting. And it was kind of funny because like the second goat she came out for, she was walking the barn. She's like, so is she just not getting better? I'm like, no, this is a second one. Yeah. And she stopped what she was doing and she went back to her truck and put on new boots, put on her coveralls and everything, which I was like, biosecurity. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, because whatever's here, you don't want to take it on your next farm call. So make sure. She's like, I'm gonna get on those girls because you didn't tell me this was the second one. I'm like, you have new employees. It's fine. Yeah. Our vet, we work really, really closely with her. We love her.
She's newer.
She is new.
You'd worked with the original vet for years, actually shadowed under him. This vet we're working with now is a newer one. So it gave a great chance to build that relationship too.
Which has been nice.
You've worked with her before, but it's just been nice. Like this budding common maintenance stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so. This was probably the first serious thing that we've dealt with as what I would consider a team. But we've experienced joint ill for the first time this year. This mystery ailment of listeriosis or rabies or whatever the necropsy is going to show us, because it's supposed to come back soon. It's been out for about a week and a half now.
Yeah. So the holidays, of course.
Yeah, which of course animals only get sick when the vet's offices are closed or there are things going on. I know, Margie, I know you watch every single I know you watch religiously, and I really, really appreciate that. Anybody who doesn't know Margie, you can always find her down in the comments section of like every video. She's a moderator here. She's been one of our biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah, loyal fan, but also just a good friend.
Yeah.
We've got to know her well over the years. Yeah. So
it's funny though, Margie, I was talking the other day. I'm like, I really wish Dilly was still here because Dilly would put these puppers in their place. Like when they get kind of rough, because she would not tolerate that.
Some of the elder goats do. There's a couple that
yeah, actually Pinky, like who's extremely pregnant and round and rotund, will like go up and give them a smack like, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
So it's good. And she doesn't bully. It's just enough of a like, hey, you're encroaching on my space. And it teaches them to learn her body language, which is good. Sure. Hello, Sam Mosher. How are you today?
Oh,
I have Dilly's. Oh, I think about her all the time.
So Kevin, I saw you're from Fort Wayne. What's the cold spell looking like up there? I know here
it's going to get bad.
It's going to get at least in the negatives, but I think they're saying even negative teens. So
yeah. Which really, when we think about it, it's nowhere near as bad as it was last year, like around Christmas Eve. But I don't want to jinx it or anything. But I mean, literally all we do here for our animals, because I get that question a lot when it gets cold, is like, what extra precautions do you do? I'm like, just make sure they have a place to get out of the wind. They have free choice access to their food the entire time. They have water the entire time, and that we do the deep litter bedding method. So bed them up, feed them, let them get out, let them be in a place where it's drag free.
Here, because we're in a pretty flat open area, as you can see most of the videos, and they can howl through here. Last night it was windy, even though it wasn't that cold. It was kind of gross. So Sam, what area are you from? If you don't mind me asking, if you don't want to tell me, that's fine too. I just like to get to know people that are in the chat. Yeah.
Outside of that, the duck house, the 3.5-year, almost 4-year project, maybe coming to an end.
The planning phase is what took so long. So we've been planning, or should I say, like pushing off getting it done for about
it's been a back burner project for
close
us.
To 3 years, and then in the last couple of weeks, it's advanced pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, my dad came up, helped us get the framing up. So now we just got siding, rafters, and roof.
And we actually went and got all of those things. I know a lot of people make comments that they like our board fencing for our goats, but it's just, for our does, it's fine. But for our bucks, man, they are figuring out they can pop those boards whenever they pretty much want to. So we're deciding that we're going to use all of our board fencing, that we're going to repurpose that for the siding for our duck house. And we're going to put panels on the correct side of the fence, which is on the inside. So that if they're pushing and rubbing, it's pushing out against the post and there's not going to be any popping. Yeah. That's the bad thing about board fences. Aesthetically, they look better if the boards are on the outside of the fence, but it means they're weaker too. So, which you pointed out, but and he did. He's like, that's not the right side. I'm like, but it's prettier this way.
Yeah.
And after many breakouts later, I've conceded and said, I don't.
We finally got to enough animals where we can't chase each one that gets out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we can't. And we have does, they're naughty. They get out when they're in heat. And I literally watched Flu, which is one of our Nigerian dwarf bucks, ram another buck into the fence. He went airborne, hit the panel or hit the boards, and the board popped off.
Oh, there's Patty.
Hi, Patty. How are you?
Familiar faces.
I know. I'm really excited to see people that I know because it's been a really long time. Yeah. We've been talking a lot how we miss our community a lot. But we've been just really busy. There have been a lot of things that have kind of pulled us away from YouTube that now have resolved themselves or on the back burner so that we can now come back and create this fellowship that we have very much missed and we have longed for.
Yeah. We still talk about everyone now, but we just don't
in a good ways, guys. I
always ask Ashley, it's like, how's Margie?
She does. He does. Yeah. He asks how you're doing, Margie. And you too, Patty. He's like, I saw Patty commented. Like, she did.
Yeah. Familiar faces.
So Sam, you're out in the KC area. How's the weather out there?
Yeah, because you guys are out west of us. So you're breaking up earlier than we are. Yeah,
and I see Kevin said 2 inches of rain yesterday, but Friday to Saturday we are total. You can keep it up north, brother. I don't want none of that. No. It's been very rainy here. Very rainy. Like mud is.
Yeah, I don't think. What are we expecting? Maybe a couple inches.
We expected a couple inches, but my gorilla cart was empty the other day, and then today, as we were getting ready to close up the barn, I dumped it. It was completely full, and it is like.
We're on the outskirts of the Miami Valley area too, and the storm systems are just wacky when they come through. So they always have these wide scales. Sometimes they swing north, sometimes they swing south. So, yeah. Margie was asking, have you heard from Emma?
I have actually. Emma,
pretty good touch with her.
Yeah, she will like and comment on things. I haven't gotten to have like a one-on-one. We went to HOA again this year, but yeah, her daughter is in college, and I think they were going to go to there. I don't know if she's there yet, but I've off and on seen Emma and talked to her. Not as much as I really wish we could. It's just it's kind of weird, like on YouTube. Especially like within the homesteading niche, I've seen we all kind of started back in like 2020 when the crap hit the fan and we were all starving for social interaction. And some of us have died off and some of us haven't. And some of us struggling a lot. like myself, like trying to do videos, but life is just really busy. And Emma's in a busy point of her life, but she's okay, Margie, I promise.
Yeah.
She's good. She's on social media. She's just not on the YouTubes right now. I think she's taken a much needed break because it burns you out.
It does.
Burns you out pretty
Especially
bad.
with all the homestead stuff you're doing anyway.
Yeah, we were talking to his brother. His brother had a YouTube channel. What is it? The Boisterous Burtons?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Plug for them.
He built like an overland setup, and he welded his own camper frame and built a camper on the back of his truck. And
and he was like, man, this editing thing. I'm like, it's no joke. Like, and to make things entertaining is.
And then filming it. You're trying to work and do filming at the same time. So like,
it's for the birds.
While I'm trying to like help her with something, I'm like watching her go set the camera up, go then do the job, then go back and do.
Well, it's like I said in past, I'm like, it's like you're shoveling manure and you're like, how can I make this look artistic and fun to watch? Because it's literally my least favorite thing to do on the farm.
And then you're working with goats. So they're always curious about everything. So
this is why I haven't upgraded to a really nice camera, because I know the moment I set tripods up anywhere where the goats can get to them, they're gonna bulldoze right through them.
Patty said Arctic cold visiting here starting Friday.
Friday. Oh, you got a couple days to get ready for it, Patty. I'm sorry.
More coming our way.
Patty also said, I need to do a catch-up video badly. I've been here a year now, and this is new. This new to me town. That's tough though, because you went through a lot of life changes. See, I think that's where we all kind of get caught up on sharing is things happen, and sometimes things just take a back burner. You know, I know every now and then I have some not nice comments. Why are we looking at May and it's January? I'm like, because this is all I can do for you right now.
Yeah, one of the big things that push us back on a lot, not just homestead stuff, but channel and everything, has been the conference. I know you preluded a bit to that early on, but
so I know some of you probably already know, but I'm a co-founder of the Indiana Homesteading Conference, which we went from doing a free event 1 year. We put it all together in 2 months. It was super stressful to doing a much larger event in 2023. And that darn near sucked the life out of me. It almost sucked the life out of my homestead. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, there's the tiniest little fiddle. Let me play you a sad tune. But it's also to kind of give you guys a little bit of perspective as to why we've been absent. I was putting a lot of my time and my efforts into that. I was doing a lot of marketing and creating printables, creating a lot of graphic design, doing a lot of the legwork with speakers, tracking them down, getting them signed up, making sure a lot of communication back and forth. And it's not going to happen this year.
Big relief, but also we'll miss it some. We didn't meet a ton of wonderful people, build a great community out of it. I'd say a lot of new friends.
And that's where I think, I know he's had to hear so much of it. Like I've literally been in tears probably every week since, because I know I'm like, I don't know what to do. Because Rhonda Fowler and I are both founders, and it took so much. Yeah. It really, really did. A lot of sacrifice, to the point where you're like, is the sacrifice equal to, and we both prayed a lot over it and said, just not this year. Mostly because I had to take this hat off and I had to put a tinfoil hat on, but there's just a lot of people that are speaking about unrest, and with election years coming up and people being so heavily divided, which is understandable. And our event being at the end of October, right before elections, in central locations in Indiana, which are highly populated, more urban areas. We just didn't feel like it was a good thing to do. We felt, let's get people to focus on local things, to keep people networking in their local communities, to get to know who's in your surrounding counties that also does goats or sheep or does hugelkultur, or they're big into fermenting, or they're big into sourdough, and to kind of get those localized communities started. And that's pretty much just by sharing the events that we know are happening there and promoting classes throughout our state. So I'm planning on probably doing a chicken butchering class, goat classes here. I'm saying it verbally to you guys to hold myself accountable as well. We want to do those things, but those aren't things that I can honestly go and do at a conference setting. And I don't know if I could do them here if I was involved in the conference. So as much as it is just destroyed my heart to say, like, we can't do it this year. But we're not saying no to next year. We're just saying we need a rest. And there's nothing wrong with being in a season of rest. There's nothing wrong with that.
And it just, like I said, there's a lot of sacrifices made. The homestead suffered. So we're trying to get that caught back up. And then on top of that, Ashley's and I've gotten pretty heavy into the goat showing side of things with show goats. So trying to keep up with that as well during the summer. That stretch is pretty thin.
I did not get to milk my goats twice daily at all this year. Not this year, because we're in a new year, but last year I didn't, because I was like, I literally don't have the time, and I don't have the energy. Like, getting up an extra hour and a half early just seemed like pure torture, because we were staying up so late trying to get things done and trying to get things in line. On top of working full-time jobs, there's that small fiddle I'm playing again. I'm not trying to do that, guys, but you just sometimes have to be realistic. And my passion is with goats and educating people about goats, goat husbandry, goat care, livestock care, anything on the homestead, being a big old freaking cheerleader to say, you want a garden, start that garden. You want livestock, get the livestock, find a mentor, do it the right way. Get your house in order. Just do it. Like, jump in, but that's just me. That's just me. So Patty said, I'm still starving for the social. The life of a widow. I can only imagine, Patty. I think about you often.
Kevin said, you guys did so well.
Oh, so, thanks, Kevin. Is that how you found us? Just out of curiosity. And did you find like other friends near you from that conference? Because that was really the big thing. We wanted people to find their tribe. Because when we're all to homesteading, it's really hard to see outside of the homestead and see other people doing it. It feels very isolating.
Just not the Indiana area though. There was people coming from Canada. There was
we had people from Canada.
So it was neat to see a lot of different people from different areas.
Yeah, we got to sit down and have conversations with Joel Salatin and Pork Rind and Sean and Beth Doherty. There were just lots of opportunities there for me. They're like, if I weren't a part of this, I would never have that opportunity to network and to actually be fed in that way. So it was really good. If you guys have conferences like that near you, I don't know out in KC, Sam, if you guys have anything really super close to you. But if you ever have a chance to go to like a conference like that, even Homesteaders of America, I think there's the Modern Homesteading Conference. There's the Pacific Northwest Conference. There's the homesteading event. There's the Okie Homesteading Expo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's the Okie one. And then there's, oh my gosh, what is the Ozark Homesteading Expo is a good one. Keeper of the Old Ways down south. I mean, there's a lot of these popping up everywhere. Like, this is a great way to find the people that share your drive to be self-sufficient, because like we work in insurance, both of us. We work at Liberty Mutual, and it's kind of hard sometimes to have conversations on a personal level with people that do not live the same lifestyle, because I'd be like, I made bread from scratch today. They'd be like, why? You could just go to Kroger and buy it. I'm like, yeah, but just having the knowledge, and it's reassuring and it's relaxing. And like, I just go to yoga. I'm like, guess I have yoga in the backyard with my goats. Whether I want to have yoga sessions out there or not, they kind of force me to do it.
Yep. Kevin said that's how he found us, and he did meet others.
Good.
So that's awesome.
Good.
That's what we were hoping to achieve.
Idaho has one next year. I've seen that one. I actually put in to speak there. Do you know that you can go find those conferences and put in speaker applications? Or I'm like, hey, I'd like to come speak. Yep. But I've gotten a little bit of practice between the Patriot Homesteading Conference. I'll be at the Homesteader Homecoming.
No. Which one's Chase's?
That's Chase's Homesteader Homecoming. Yeah. Patriots. I didn't catch the train on that. I was invited, but I didn't confirm.
That's something too. Like, Ashley really enjoys speaking at them.
And it's really fun.
And it's just something that also we don't have so much planning involved in, that we can, I think, accommodate a little bit better than leading a conference like we did.
It is a lot less dedication, because
many months.
Like literally for Homesteader Homecoming, I think I've told Chase, like, hey, I can come down for like one day. Like, don't put me on multiple days. I just want one day, because then it's close enough. I can drive down there. I can speak and enjoy fellowship and come home. So then nobody has to come and farm sit for me. Nobody has to come and do my milking. My kids will be taken care of. My goat kids. My kid would probably come with me, but my goat kids nobody would have to come and do those things. And that's something I think that kind of bothered me a little bit. I feel like I had to lean on people a lot harder while I was working on the conference, and I don't like that. That's one of my pitfalls. I'm a prideful person, and I don't like to ask for help. And then for someone to step and be like, I am helping you. I'm like, I am so ashamed that you had to help me. Yeah. Oh gosh. So Kevin says, I hear you. No one gets us when we talk about what's going. It's really tough. That's all I'll say is it's really tough. I know the first conversation I had with one of our underwriters, because even though I work remotely now, our office has said, hey, you need to come at least once every other week, which is not terrible. Other people in my group have to go in twice every week because of where they live, because I live far enough out and in not a hub for a company. I don't have to go in as often. But one of the first things, she's like, oh, you're on a farm. She's like, do you like butcher chickens and all that stuff? And it was like, yeah, actually I do. She's like, that is so inhumane. And I was just like, I get it. Like, I get it from your outside perspective. I understand. But in the same breath in my head, it didn't come out of my mouth because I'm in an office setting. But I'm like, I really hope you don't eat anything from the grocery store if you think that's inhumane. Because what was it? Joel was talking at the conference that Polyface Farm is not considered like animal friendly standards when it comes to butchering, because there are only 3 methods. It was asphyxiation, electrocution. What was the other one?
I don't remember.
Or like gas. Yeah. You either have to they have to not be able to breathe. They have to go to sleep using a gas, or you have to electrocute them. Whereas like we use the just right, quick cut. And one of the things that Daniel Salatin said actually at Homesteaders of America, he's like, you want to double check your work. He's like, within 3 seconds, if the eye is not responsive, the pupil just goes big. It's like, they're gone, lights are out, which I mean, they try to really talk about the best ways to do things. But that also gives you perspective on what's humane and what's. Is Emma here?
Yep.
Emma, we were just talking about you. Margie missed you.
She was asking how you were doing.
You. Yep. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So anybody, have you seen Emma? Emma is Sony's place here in our chat. How are you, Emma? How are you doing? She has her own
homestead.
Yep, she does. She has a channel. She does. You're pretty much, you do a lot on Instagram with your reels on there, don't you, Emma? Because they're always so they're cute. Yeah. I love them. I like reels. I didn't used to like be on board with the short film content or short, I don't know, format shorts on YouTube. Like I was like, these aren't going to do anything. I love them now. It's just really easy way to stay connected.
Yeah. And Terry's from Richmond,
Indiana.
I think so.
Just north of us. Yeah. So you really are a howdy neighbor.
Probably almost hear us if we went outside.
I know you probably could down here in Liberty.
Oh, Emma, you're fine. She said she's cooking dinner for my birthday. What did you cook? Girl.
Oh my God, I've missed
and
this.
It's someone's birthday.
For my birthday? Whose birthday?
Yeah.
Which one? Which daughter?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so jealous. And Emma, I've missed this knowing what I know. I miss this, like getting to see what Emma's cooked, because Emma, for anybody that doesn't know, is a fantastic cook.
Yeah.
And every time she tells me what she's made for dinner, I'm like, God, I suck. Hey Mo, what's up? Woot, I see my friends. How you gang? How are you? How's everything going? How's your homestead search? Did you find your homestead? I feel like you have. I'm not good at keeping up with people. I can barely post on my channel. I do have another video uploaded for Friday.
You do. You've been working on one.
I have. You found.
Look at that.
Get it, girl. I'm so happy for you.
Nice.
I'm happy for you. I know that was a big source of stress. I think that's a source of stress that a lot of people are facing now, trying to find their land and their homestead.
Yeah.
That is like one of the big things I see on Homesteaders of Indiana Facebook is, how do I find land, or where do I go about looking for land or my dream homestead? And it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
So like everybody's looking for that dream homestead.
Yep.
The market's
Wayne
crazy.
County. So just north of us.
Oh my gosh, Terry.
Smallest county, I think. In
hello, neighbor. So. How are you?
Oh, it's Franklin, Kentucky. Nice.
That's not too far.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Does that mean we could Franklin, Kentucky? I'm looking it up right now.
See how far
can we go see Mo? How's your horses doing? How's your man doing? Franklin.
So did it have a lot of the things you wanted on it, or do you have to build up? And we can completely understand building up.
That's not bad.
Because when we bought ours, it had nothing on it.
Nothing.
So
it's a lot of work to start from scratch.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly.
Like I think when we bought it, we're just like, oh, we wanted a small farm in a country life. We didn't understand the whole thing, like homesteading situation. So
it was just, we just thought this was like how you lived.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of our families were more rural based.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, I didn't even know the term homesteading until we started YouTube. And I'm like, what niche am I tailoring my content to become appealing and to find my community where like I belong? And homesteading was like it. I'm like, oh, what's that living is what we are doing is called homesteading. So there's a lot of people are trying to move to the whole, what we do is homesteading, and power to them.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I like to see it. Brenda's a fellow Hoosier.
Another Hoosier. Look at all the Hoosiers in here. Cool. I'm super excited about that.
So Mo said 30-year-old house in great conditions, 24 by 24 garage, and putting up a metal barn soon. Nice.
Get it. I am so happy for you. Are you guys getting any of this crud we're getting up here? Because I have teammates that are down in North Carolina, and they're like, it is cold and windy. And then my teammates in Texas are like, it's cold and windy.
Crazy weather in general. There was like a bunch of tornadoes and Florida and Georgia we were watching.
Yeah.
We have some homesteader friends down there.
And Chip and Nicole at Hidden Oaks Homestead sent them a message. Are you guys okay?
Dusty Goat too.
Yeah, Rachel and John. There.
Yeah. And then Keep Her Always. Is that what
that's not their YouTube, but they run it. I can't remember what their farm name is.
We've met so many people. It's like
which is wonderful. Like honestly, this community, you can't You can't go wrong with the homesteading community. It's one of those things, like when you find those people, you're not strangers. You've known your entire life because you go through the same struggles and you value the same things, which is really, really, really nice.
Emma said we're keeping an eye out for land. Are you guys still looking up in the Pacific Northwest? I think it was. Matt, I think, was saying like Oregon.
Didn't you guys? Were you saying Idaho?
Like when you were talking that moved out there several years ago and loves it.
Yeah, is that Brandon?
No. Brandon's always lived out there, but John.
Oh yeah. John was a character. I love John. Yeah. Everything was golden. Whenever you talk to me, like I'm golden. Our channel
like, he's always comment on it.
I miss him.
He's a good guy.
That's one of the cool things too about like where we work. It's just all over the country. So like you have people that you just. A lot of my teammates are in Texas.
Yeah,
they're really nice though. I really like them.
I will say, like all over too. When I went to India for work, it was funny because like the agriculture mixed with the city because it was expanding so fast. So the first time I took a taxi, we stopped at like an intersection, and the taxi driver held out a sandwich, and a cow came up and grabbed it and ate it. That was weird.
That might be my uncle.
Yeah. So I guess you can have cows in the cities there. So,
and Emma, even if it's several years out, like it's so good to just look now. So Brenda says, I'm still praying for my own land, my own chickens, my own eggs, my own garden, my own house, my own everything. It sounds like it's been my dream forever, complete homegrown. And my favorite is gardening, canning, everything. You're going to get there.
Yeah.
I'll be your cheerleader.
Brenda.
I said, what did I say?
I think you said Brandon because I mentioned Brandon before.
Yeah, Brenda. I'm sorry, Brenda, if I didn't say your name correctly.
Yep. Yeah, Emma said
keep striving.
Northern Idaho.
That'll be nice. That's supposed to be gorgeous country out there.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And then when they move out there, we can go visit them out there. That'd be cool.
That's not a...
Well, you put out an application to speak out there, might as well. Emma, if you have an extra place, we'll just hang out.
Shameless plug. You're going to have us out. We're just going to be like, oh, did you get to your house? Because we're on our way. What's the address? Oh, goodness. Mo says there was tornado warnings in our old residence that we were renting. We were here a week. Oh, well, I'm glad it missed you. I'm glad. But tornado season is like the worst.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, I don't think there's anything that we're like, especially if like Ryan Hall, y'all is like in our area. Oh God!
Yeah.
Like, keep it away.
Watching us, or one of his storm chasers is, because there's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't. There's not been a lot of movement on storm chasers until here just recently, with all this crap moving through everything, and then we watch them a lot in the spring. Yeah. It's really interesting to watch them. Oh, Emma, did you check with them too?
Yeah.
That's good.
We're worried about it.
See, isn't that beautiful though? Like people that you've met, and like you don't even get to see them face to face all the time, but you still think like, hey, is everybody okay? I know weather's bad in your area, so I really love this little community, which is why we're back doing lives, because I just really
missed everyone.
I really missed it. Like we have a lot of local community that we can relate to and all that, but this was the start of it. So I feel a strong connection to everyone like that's been with us. So
Emma said we'll live in a tiny house while we build, looking for raw land so we can build what we want and have space for highlands.
The coos, the hairy coos. Have you been watching Darren's shorts with his cow jokes?
He's been having hilarious. A lot of content with them. Between that, and then he's also had a lot of fun with the AI.
Yeah.
You told him about the AI.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Vikings and Highland cattle.
Highland cattle. I love.
He sent me one random one. It was like a Viking and a Highland cow kissing. Like it was a cartoon, funny, like Disney looking one.
Yeah, we had fun with AI generators.
What are you generating
when we first discovered them. They've been out for a while. When we first discovered, because we're always behind in the times. But I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful. We could become Pixar characters. I wish I looked like the Pixar characters.
Patty was asking who. It's Thorhaven Homestead. So Darren and Brigitte.
Darren and Brigitte.
Yeah, they have Highland cattle, and he's hilarious in a character anyway. So
he's playing with he's been doing a lot of the short content. Did you see?
Oh,
that's who it is. I didn't see it today. How is she 21?
Man, flies
I can't
by
take
fast.
it. Can we just tell him to stop? My daughter looks at me like I am so stupid. She's only 14. And the other day I'm like, well, you're a kid. She's like, only for 4 more years. Like, well, even when you get, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And trust me, even when you're 30, I'm gonna be like, you're my baby, you're my kid. So you can't take it. She's like, only 4 more years, I can move out. Like, okay.
Yeah. Good luck with the housing market. I will keep you under my
house
right
as long as you want to stay under my house, under my roof, not under my house, like in the basement.
Yeah.
Stay under the house. You don't get to stay in a room in the house. Oh God. Mo said, Greg and I are just so grateful for this place. No one can take it away from us. Stress-free, talking about chickens, coops, and compost.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chickens and compost go together so well, though.
I mean, it's nice to get that established place where you can finally set your roots, basically. You know?
Absolutely.
That's one thing we've talked about too. Like, the only thing I think that pulls us away from this would be more land, of course, because it's like, oh, it's nice to have more of a spread. But at the same point, we've built it so
there's a lot of sentiment. To what we
want.
Yeah. And there's a lot of sentiment. Like, I know your mom just recently moved, your brother recently moved, your sister recently moved. And I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it. But then I guess I have to look at the backhanded side of that where I'm like, that's a big blessing, where I don't feel like I ever want to move. Like, if I fell over dead in my garden and that's where I stayed the rest of my life, of eternity, that would be fine. That wouldn't bother me a bit. Sorry to go morbid, just dying in the garden.
Because we also had a lot of opportunity on layout and stuff like that. Now we've got the barn set up for goats. So.
Yeah.
Everything's the way it's meant to be. Rockin' Robin's Dairy Goats.
Hey, how are you?
He said, glad I got here. Who knew Mulberry Branch Farm? Sounds great to watch while I have the flu.
I am sorry you've got the flu. That is
going around like crazy.
It is actually
Sunday, our church service Sunday. There was a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Not feeling well due to the flu.
It has not been good. I'm really
C
sorry.
word or whatever is going around. So.
The Rona.
Yeah. But a lot of it's going around.
Yeah.
So. And just people feeling yucky. It's just enjoying. I think the weather swings don't help either.
No.
Like you had a headache last night, and I'm sure it was because the.
I have like a little bit of a nagging cough, not like a hurting me, but just like so, which is fine. It'll wait till we have visitors at church in the next is that next week, and we have to go 2 nights in a row, and I'll have to sing the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah. I know. Oh, she spent a semester in South Korea. Cool. Just turned 21, and we sent her back for 1 more semester.
Oh, that's cool.
But aren't you just so proud that you've raised an adult that can go off and go to South Korea and handle herself? I mean, it is just so beautiful. You've done such a good job as parents, too. She wanted to go back
to another semester, too. So
well, you guys have done really great parenting. Like, both of your girls were they're really sweet. Really, they're awesome. Like, loved them. Really nice, respectful young ladies. Patty said, life-changing opportunity for your girl, Emma. I can't imagine sending it off. I know. But it's such a nod to like what you've done for her and helping her to build her confidence.
Yep.
I'm working on more land next door. We have been working the same thing.
Yeah.
It was on the table, and I was excited, not in the way that it might happen, because they were talking about divorcing, and she's like, we just want to settle debts. And she came to us, but luckily, sadly for us, because of the land, but wonderful for them, they were able to work it out, and they're still together.
It gives the opportunity. We've actually been communicating with them more often, and
I run down there and bring them honey,
touching base with them,
all that good stuff. Yeah,
they're great people.
They're super nice.
Yeah, they end up buying a goat from us. So
yeah, they did. They bought a goat.
We see them every time we drive down the road now. So
funny. They pulled up in their little side by side, and like have a goat in it, like driving down the road back down to their house. I was like, that's how you know you're in the country. He's up by the road, so which is kind of nice to be able to watch him grow, but not have the responsibility of him growing here. Yep. Patty said our church had a run of the flu a couple weeks ago. God has been gracious and spared me from getting the crud. I'm glad for that. And we keep running from it where it's like, it's cool. You're just there over there.
Yeah, for sure.
When do you guys start kidding? That's a great question. On February 29th this year is my first due date. And I want her to have babies on the 29th of a leap year.
Some a few weeks ago.
It was in November. That wasn't kidding. Didn't start. That ended us for 2023. Okay. So I'm only milking and testing one doe.
It's just a continuous cycle. Let's not even ask when we start. It's just a revolving door.
We ended in November. We had a couple months off. We'll start back up in February. And then I think I just bred a doe last week. Didn't I?
Mm-hmm. It's like the sun comes up and it goes down. It just
May, late May, early June. I gotta start. I gotta make my
sister has some.
She has some due next week when we're supposed to be in negative. So I was like, this is why I didn't like January kiddings. Yeah. But totally doable. And she's gonna rock it and it's gonna be fine and everything's gonna work.
Stalls, I'll have some insulation and of course heat lamps, so they should be fun.
Oh yeah.
What's Brenda saying? I didn't want to be pitied, but just want to share August 30th. My son is a construction worker. He went to Menards. He was shot by their security guard. Oh no.
Really?
Oh man. We've been in that Menards quite a bit. So
I am so sorry to hear that. Oh, we'll be praying for you, Brenda. That is so tough. And you don't have to worry about being pitied. Mm-hmm. We pray for people. We definitely believe that. I'm really sorry to hear that. That was the Menards in Richmond?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You were just there last week.
Yep.
That is.
No, wait, that wasn't Richmond because Terry was Richmond. You're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting them all mixed up.
Brenda was Indianapolis.
I'm really sorry, Brenda. That's you're in our thoughts and prayers. That's really tough. Yeah. I'm really sorry to it's tough losing anybody. That's a son. I couldn't imagine losing a child. Hi, Danette. How are you?
Good to see her.
Hi, how are you two doing? Doing great. Having kids this week. Oh, I'm so jealous. Only because Buck used to escape. I've been there.
Yep.
I've been there. We had to put an electric fence inside the fence. I also have 17 chickens now. Mean rooster who torments me.
You're living a life.
That sounds like you're living the life of a homesteader. I'm proud of you, Danette. Good job. I'm excited for you to start kidding. You have to let us know what you end up with.
For Gunsmith, there's a Gunsmith Kinks book. It tells funny stories like that stuff. It sounds like it should be like a homestead kinks.
Or is that your homesteader
goat kinks or something like that?
Ooh, goat kinks.
Well, look at that kink. Buck caught out of the fence. That's kinky. That's one reason we're switching.
It PG, brother.
Yeah, that's one reason Ashley mentioned earlier. We're taking
with the panels. They've not gotten out and done anything like that.
The funny thing is, I think the two big breakouts we've had, both times we were gone. Yeah,
it's like the one my sister didn't even know. Like he got a ring notification on the camera, and he was like, "Who's in the backyard?"
And like when he gets the notification, it's like a little picture, and I'm like, "There's like 4 goats running across the camera."
So I had to call my sister. I'm like, "They're out." Yeah. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yep, they're out. Just go on the back deck, get the grain, shake
that's the funny thing. All of our security cameras are actually for the goats. Like watching the barn, watching the buck pen, all of them are there just to monitor the goats.
Yeah.
So at any point she can check in on how everybody's doing and nobody's breaking loose. The one, what show was that? Nail. I got on the way back home, I got a ring notification and we looked and the entire herd was out and was going down the driveway, was running around. Yeah. And like the donkeys started just trotting across the yard and
we were like an hour and a half away. So I'm like, you have got to drive faster.
I had to turn off the notifications so she wasn't getting too much anxiety because like they were going off every like 30 seconds.
I was encouraging him to drive way too fast. I'm like, you've got to get home.
Yeah.
We've got to get them put up.
Was out. It was funny though. You could just see them moving like a swarm.
Oh gosh.
Our grass didn't need to be mowed that week though.
Leave it to you to find the silver lining in that. The grass didn't have to be mowed. Thank God. To run the mower. And be Heritage, how are you?
Accidental escape up there.
Oh, my accidental escape butt got into the doe's area. So now January baby.
We'll go.
I know. And you're like, January guys, really? January? It's so awful.
Although this year we had a problem with the doe trying to get into the box. Well, a couple of them.
It got to the point where finally I took her to my sister-in-law's because she also has high quality Nigerian dwarf goats. Was like, breed this sucker because I'm done fighting with her. I'm done. Like at one point she got in with the bucks and I was looking out the window and I was like, oh my God, she's in there. And the first buck that jumped on her, I'm like, that's the buck I wanted to breed her. So I'm like running out there to go get her. And it is not that far from our back deck to the buck pen. And I was running like I was in the NFL, just like running. And by the time I got there, all 4 bucks had a turn. I'm like, that is, and she 3 shots of Lutalice. So for anybody that's not familiar with Lutalice is an injection that you can give your goats to
push them to abort.
Push them to abort. Give it to them like 11 days after you saw the deed done, so that it's easier for them to absorb. Because I would have to DNA those goats, and that was not how I wanted it to go down. I wanted to control this breeding because she's like my besto. So I took her to my sister-in-law and said, breed her so I don't have to fight her anymore and leap your babies.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping they're born on the 29th.
And that said, home surf, your phone is full of pictures of
goat butts.
Yes.
Yeah, goat udders. Or like when someone who doesn't know you hears you on the phone talking about a goat, and you're like, man, like her lateral attachments, the udder on her, the teat placement, and people are like, the teat placement. I'm like, it's important. Teat placement is important on a goat, especially for hand milking. I digress, though.
Sure.
The things you shouldn't talk about in public when people don't know what you're talking about.
Patty, Animal Farm Unleashed.
It is Animal Farm Unleashed. It really is.
I should type that about the Kinks book, probably.
Yeah. Oh, God. We could.
Oh, MB Heritage Farms. Hello.
Crazy goat awesome people. I know. Oh my gosh, guys. I can't even tell you like the warm, fuzzy feeling that I'm experiencing. Seeing all these familiar faces. I really missed you guys. And in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, we've had a couple goats, ears get frostbit, stuff
yeah,
like
when
that.
We had boars. That was like a big thing. Those big, floppy, beautiful ears.
And you want them near January 1st for the fair.
Fair to make market weights and stuff. So
don't
that
miss
was
those days.
No, I don't. Even though I kind of thought about joining the January train with your sister, because why not? I'm very susceptible to peer pressure. And someone says, you should do that. I'm like, yeah, I should. Not a lot of thought goes into it. And then I get in these temperatures. I'm like, this is why. This is why I didn't do it. And it doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means like, I really hate being cold now that I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Like back when we had boars, like it wasn't too terrible to like lay down in the straw and just nap. So I'm like, you're going to have them tonight, but like, I can't let them be born alone in case they're not born directly
sleep,
under
I feel like though, because you're so exhausted. Yeah. You're just like,
yeah. That was there. Well, there have been many nights where it's like every half hour because I'm like, it is so cold out here. Like I can't stay out here. We've been in many Arctic vortex kittings, and it was not a fun thing. I have so missed laughing with you guys. I have missed you guys too because they always.
We're looking forward to the live tonight.
Yeah, it was just what was Monday. I'm like, let's do that because it's like on our thing. I kind of want to do bi-weekly because I don't want you guys to get sick of us. So why don't you guys drop that like in the chat? Do you guys want weekly or bi-weekly? I'm leaning towards bi-weekly, honestly, so that I don't get overwhelmed or burn out. And then if I feel like I'm not going to make it that week, I can just bump it to a week before or after. Will you keep me
flexibility?
You keep me accountable.
Yeah, sure. I don't even know what day of the week it is half the time. So especially after the holidays, it's hard to keep track. So
well, we work remotely too. So it's like, is it Thursday yet?
Yeah.
Like the only reason I know tomorrow is Thursday is because I have to go into the office. So it'll be fun. You know, though, I get excited because I get to have Panda Express for lunch every time too. Like it doesn't matter. I'm like, this is my Panda Express moment.
So what else have you gotten big into? Soap making.
Yeah, I've been making lots of soap.
Got one around here somewhere.
There's a ton of it in there.
Yeah, maybe we'll grab some bars to show what they look like.
I finally tackled that. I took a class last November, and ever since.
The funny part is she loves the creative.
I like to make the creative stuff. So like in this, I'm not happy with this. Mostly because I crinkle cut with a swirl, so you can't see my swirl. And because my white, I didn't get it very white. It's like it got too hot. But so I've got that like it's rainbow.
So we got 6 different types in there.
So then we've got that. It's like an ocean. Supposed to be like an ocean
So
scent.
Of course with our surplus of goat smoke, this helps.
Well, like even with 1 goat and milk, my recipe for a loaf only takes 12.2 ounces of milk. And chicken hawk gives me way more than that, just in one sitting. So even with just 1 goat, like I can keep up with making soap. But
they smell good, though.
It was super fun. It's super fun to make. I really like being creative with it. But now
your first show.
I did my first craft show.
Sold out.
So yeah, pretty much sold out of lots of stuff, which was really, really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. The only thing that I've been asked for people that have been buying soap is lotions and things like that. So I think I'll start branching off into like facial scrubs and lotions. I'm trying to convince Joe to do bath bombs because she's like, "How can I make money?"
Making soap too.
You're making soap too. I am making soap
too. Oh, that's cool.
Liquid soap.
There was
that lady. Scares me.
A lady we met at the homestaying conference, the national one, and she actually was using her good soap for laundry detergent. Which was cool.
Yeah, she was like
using the flakes
because I started.
So I'm gonna have to try that.
I started taking like a potato peeler and doing like all the edges. So everything is like really nice. There's no hard edges unless I want there to be a hard edge. And she's like, yeah, all that stuff. She's like, or like those end pieces off of your loaf. She's like, we just like grind that down really fine and we make laundry detergent out of it. So I got an electric milker. Yay!
An electric milker. Isn't that a lifesaver?
Yes.
Ashley loves hers.
I love my Simple Pulse. It saves me a lot. Like my hands don't go numb almost at all.
And the goats get so used to it so quick. Although they do not like it when it's cold.
Yeah, Chicken Hawk's been really grouchy here in the mornings. Like, because I have found it. I do a lot of
cold instruments.
I know, because then I do like a warm udder wash and I dry her off. And then I stick them on these really cold inflations. I've been trying to like hold my hands over them to warm them up. But then I'm like, I'm human too. Like, I don't like this. But I definitely wouldn't want those stuck on if they were cold. I'd be like, get away. And she kicks. She's a first freshener. She's not all the way used to it. But boy, I feel bad putting cold inflations on that little girl. She's been a trooper. She's been doing really good. But those are like best money I've ever spent is on my Simple Pulse. 100%. It just
I can relate.
Really?
Yeah, because you always put your cold hands on me when you come out of the barn. Is that just like a wife thing to do or something?
Yeah, ladies. Husbands are meant to warm up your hands. And he can always tell because like I'll come up real nice and just try to get under his shirt. He's like holding it down.
It's awful right now.
It is. I feel bad for you, but my hands warm up really fast on you. If it weren't such an instant gratification.
Chili crisp shrimp from Panda is really good.
I haven't tried that yet. I love their honey almond.
I'll be honest. Like we've tried a couple different ones and nothing's been terrible there. So.
No, nothing's been bad. Yeah. But it's funny because like Mark tried Panda Express like years ago, and I am uncultured swine most of the time when it comes to cuisines, and he's just really stubborn.
You have your things you like, which you really like.
Things that I really like.
Makes it easy.
Why even change? I like this. But he's been really trying to broaden my horizons. And the first time I went to that, I was like, I have been resisting this so long, and I actually really like it.
It's a plus because Josie loves it too.
Yeah, so which she was just like, she's like, I'm not gonna like it. I'm like, BS, girl. You're saying I was not going to like it either. So. And I did love it. So it was super
cold
fun.
Hands on the man.
For real, right?
I think I'm losing
Aren't hussies supposed to keep us warm?
Not when the hands are ice cold.
There's a lot of sugar in that, Emma. I'd love to try the honey walnut, but we're back on sugar a lot. Yeah.
See, look, MB Heritage Farms has it right.
I got Bobby electric hand warmers just so I can avoid all the cold hands. Well, go buy it. Go buy it. Go. Yeah.
But the second part of that is you have to use them.
I will use them.
Yeah, you do. You do bundle
I
up.
do use them. I've had this on all day long.
Are they bulky though? Because you do use your hands pretty much.
Yeah, but I can take them off when I do like an udder wash and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? You see how he's trying to discourage me? I think he secretly likes the torture.
Yeah, I love it.
We've got this on video. He tried to discourage it so that the next time he complains, I'll be like, well, the fine folks at MB Heritage Farm said that they got the hand warmers to avoid that mess, and you just discouraged by it. It is what it is.
Yeah. So what else have you been working on? Canning. We've been doing a lot of canning.
I'm doing a lot of canning. Moving through my canning. Well, it's winter, and we
started using the cans.
We actually. I made spaghetti sauce, and I have spaghetti sauce that we use today.
You use chicken.
Chicken, potatoes. I haven't broken out my bell peppers.
It's cool though. Like you can go downstairs. We built a root cellar in our basement now. Not a root cellar, but like a little stash closet. And yeah, it's nice because we can just go down there and get fresh garden, from the garden, or our chickens we butchered or whatever, and now have it stored.
Yeah.
Without a fridge.
It's been nice.
Yeah.
Well, and then because we had fridge issues where we didn't lose a lot, but we lost enough where I was like, so I'm like, I can't trust me. Not to mention the freezer was very old.
Pork. My sister processed
your sister processed pork. So I have tallow from that pork that I want to use for soap. Yeah, I've got like a big tub of it. So I'm trying to mess with my recipe to substitute in tallow for, I want to maybe substitute in for palm, but I don't know. I have to look at the qualities.
And Be Heritage said best $40 spent. I would have to agree to keep from cold cancer.
Yeah.
So
see, he says they are inexpensive. I love them, and they have handles on them, so you can put.
There you go. I think we're sold.
I think you've got a thing to go buy for me.
Said this is BJ, by the way.
Oh, but
Danette said, I've been thinking of making a farm Facebook page. Any ideas? Our farm name is J&D's Little Farm.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. I mean, and if you ever want to change it, like, especially that's one of the good things when you do start something like that the younger you are starting it, like as in age of your page, if you decide to change it to something else or to change up a logo, it's young enough, it's not going to mess you up.
Yeah.
I think you should do it. It'd be really fun. You'd be surprised how many people love to follow farm stuff.
I mean, for us, we actually started ours also as a way to journal things through the years. You think back, and really we wish we had even started from the beginning, because like we said, there was nothing here. But even just as long as Ashley's been doing a lot of social media and YouTube and everything, it's amazing to see like the memories pop up and stuff like that. And
I have bad days. I literally go back and scroll through my photos, because the way I look at it, and I know that I hate social media for this sometimes, because I mean, we'll call it the rose-colored lens, is that people only show the most beautiful parts because that's what we're proud of, and we want to show those. But those rose-colored lens pictures, when I'm having bad days, like I'll go back and scroll through, and it makes me feel better. I'm not going to lie. Like I've honestly thought that, I don't know how many times in the last year, I'm like, I am so glad that I share on social media and that I try to put my best foot forward and make lovely posts, so that when I am having a bad day, like I can go back and minister to myself and reevaluate and make myself remember why I am so blessed, because there have been days in the last couple of weeks and months where I've just cried and not had a good time with the stuff that we're going through on the farm or on life decisions. And it's been a good thing. You'll be surprised how much you will, almost like be therapeutic to yourself, especially you go back and look at it and be like, I've been very blessed.
Emma's got to run. So,
bye, Emma. It was so good seeing you. Tell her we said happy birthday.
And Matt and Carmen just got home.
All right. So Mo said it's been raining here and the place is flooded and muddy. Mud farmers, we hear it, baby. Horses area is sloppy. Maybe we'll have a video in the next couple of weeks for the barn being built. Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah. That's really fun. Yeah. Like Mark said, we really wish we could have chronicled the barn being built and where it came from, because some people and this isn't me like trying to be like, we've done such a good job, but we do get compliments when people come to our farm. Like, this is beautiful. I want to be like, but I wish I could show you like what it was and all the work that we've put in. Like, I don't want someone to come in and feel discounted because it's beautiful. I'm like, it wasn't beautiful at one point. Yeah. It was just a big monolith of a barn that we built, and that we just stored crap inside, and it was little panels or electric fence that didn't really work and grounded out half the time, and I was chasing my goats all the time. Like, we've come a really long way. We've come a really long way. But that's how you're moving in the right direction too. When those woes aren't the same woes anymore, and you're like, you can stop and look and be like, I am so proud. And you will be. I know, Danette, if you chronicle and start a page, you will look back and be proud of yourself. And Mo, you're going to be proud of yourself once you get your barn built and think of how far you've come and all the things you've done. Like, it is seriously wonderful. Yeah. And back to mud. The nice thing is with the freeze coming up
the mud gets frozen, you don't have to worry about mud as
yeah,
much.
you know, I've actually, so we were talking about that. Sadly today was like, I wish it would just freeze because then I could stop slipping and sliding everywhere.
The second thing about mud is muddy feet seems to be a popular trend on Facebook.
Shut up. He's being mean to me, anybody that doesn't know what he's saying. I had a video on being a mud farmer, and the main view for that, or the searchable term, was women's feet in mud. So it was fetish people coming to see feet in mud. They were disappointed. There was no oogling at my feet in mud. It was just muddy, and I was just in boots.
Homestead kinks. Since we're going down that path. All right.
You like to say the word kink. That's all that it is. That's just what you're here for.
Right now, every building is a different color. Oh, we know that. Yeah, we if you look at some of our videos, Joe in the background, I know. The moving head. So like our chicken coop was tan, and then the ducks moved into it, and now it's blue.
It blue with the red door, and then I got bored and I spray painted words on it, so it looks gangster. It's weird. It looks not great, but
I think that was her way of pushing me to build the duck house.
Made it
ugly. Like,
I made it
ugly. An eyesore out
I
there.
didn't mean to. For some reason, I just had extra spray paint. I'm like, how hard is graffiti art? Because like I like art and I like to express. It's hard. I'm not good at it. I don't know why I was like, I'm going to graffiti the duck
graffiti.
house.
Yeah, don't have to worry about you becoming a hobo on the trains and riding along with them.
This stuff is really pretty, though. That art is amazing.
But I think our common theme has been red. So our chicken coop's red, our barn's red. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about that's one thing. Like our farm, we do try to keep it tidy, of course, for the videos. But also, it's a farm, and like you see a lot of things going on, and like we've been to some farms for goats and stuff like that. And it's a little bit messy, and it's just, we know they're out there doing things too. So
it is what it is.
Don't let that bother you or stop you from doing videos or anything like that.
No, and sometimes things just happen. And if you're happy with it, who cares?
Yeah.
Really, who cares?
Yeah. Right now, we would not want to take this computer and like turn it around the house, because our house is probably.
I did a lot of cleaning just so this area behind us was kind of
when projects are going outside of it. So.
Yeah. Oh,
I just said I have an arts and crafts room that I started half of the room making a hydroponic garden. What I created in the hydroponic is real soil, a circulated fresh water with a vitamins and high pH. That's awesome.
Pretty amazing.
That's always interested me.
I know you're looking for your dream homestead, but good for you getting at it, because like that stuff is like over my head, and it's because I
respect the people.
I do respect that, because it's a different way to do it, and I think that's amazing. Congrats. Well, Danette, eBay, you can buy dirty socks. Are you trying to get me to pimp out my dirty socks, Danette?
Patty said gangster farmers with the graffiti going up, bro. We have the east side of the farm and the west side of the farm.
The chickens and the ducks don't mingle, okay? You were throwing up gang signs in front of the duck house for that picture. I should totally post. Not like gang sign, but like we were talking like how when we were younger, like we would be like in our photos. So I was like, make sure you throw up those gang signs.
The MS13's MB13 Woodward Ranch. There you go. Yeah. So you gotta have fun. You
gotta have fun. So I might post that just for you guys to see. Like, that's the east side over there.
With the social media is when those pictures slip out. Then I said I painted a scene on a couple of the backs. I have an idea of making flowers with hubcaps and hose. Oh,
that would be really beautiful. Yep, that'd be. I really like that when people decorate with things like that. Like I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. We actually have like a salvage little store. It's called the Purple Cow in Liberty, Indiana, and she has things on the outside where she's taken like the old wood saws and she's put them like all around a circle to make it look like a sun. And she always does all that stuff, and I'm like, I wish that I could just go to a yard sale and see what junk and then just take it home and make it something beautiful. But that's just one more on my to-do list.
One thing we got cool salvage was like my grandpa was always used to everything, and he had an old water heater he cut in half for like water troughs Well, my mom was using them for flower beds, and she moved to a smaller place and gave us those. So we're definitely gonna make flower beds out of them. But it's cool just seeing that stuff. I mean, I can always appreciate art from something that's
it's inspiring, because then people are like, where did you get it? And like, oh, that's just vintage. I'm like, that's just spray paint. That's spray paint strategically put on this. So can't say
turf wars home upper
at 11.
Yeah,
tune in.
See us on there. All right, well, we better wrap things up. We want to keep about an hour, and we still have to put animals up, and it's sort of cold out, but it was so awesome. It felt like home coming back and seeing everybody, familiar faces.
We very much appreciate you guys making time to hang out with us, because I was really worried. I'm like, nobody's going to show up because it's been forever, and I don't blame people. People are busy, but we're glad that you guys took time out of your day to kind of chill out and just chat and giggle with us. It felt like old times. It was good feeling. I kind of needed it. This was good for my heart. So I'm happy to have each and every one of you here. So we're going to go and sign off.
And hopefully we'll see more of you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you in not next week, but the week after. So it's the 10th. So on the 24th.
There we go.
We will see you guys on the 24th. Thank you guys for hanging out. Remember to stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. And we will catch you all on the next one. God bless you. Bye, y'all.
Yep. Good night.